Okay, hey everybody, thank you very much for being here. Pleasure to discuss what Grover is doing today with you. So Grover is a flexible tech subscription business allowing flexible access to consumer electronics. Think about iPhones, MacBooks, headphones, anything you really want to experience when it comes to technology. And the problem with these products and the problem with retail overall is that you can buy that or you can finance it committing to 4 years, but that might not be necessarily your ideal preference, meaning the current options, excluding Grover, are welfare decreasing, and today we're going to talk about how Grover helps you increase consumer welfare, how we create value in this world, how we create consumer value. The deck is upside down, so I hope you can still read it. But our mission is for more people to get more out of life, essentially, right? So by allowing flexible tech subscriptions, we give people access to the products they need for a low monthly cost. The particular, and obviously you cannot read any of this here, but it's a very big market. Okay, so the problem is relatively large. This is a 1.7 kind of trillion global market problem, whereas the spend on tech is relatively high if you consider this both European and global markets. The existing retailers, if you look at them, what they do is sell things, right? And we see this in the share price performance of existing retailers. They struggle to sell things. So markets are kind of plateauing. We also see that lending and point-of-sale lenders only can facilitate a purchase through multi-year commitments, not allowing a flexible access, and as a result, they're struggling. So we create something which is in between. Subscriptions at the intersection of retail and finance, and those are certainly value increasing. So if this slide here was working, I would now show you something from the Microeconomics 101 class. Who remembers the budget constraint? The budget constraints within difference curves. You remember? Okay, so this is Microeconomics 101. And what happens if you purchase something or if you finance something? You have a fixed monthly cost or you have an initial expense, and you can afford a set fixed allocation between two products. Now what happens with renting is that you can decide what products you want to consume for the same monthly payment, for the same monthly price. So essentially, there's the slide, fantastic. So essentially what is happening is that for a fixed monthly price, let's say you're willing to spend 100 euros per month, you can exchange the product on the Grover platform, making you richer, making you feel better off, increasing your utility overall. This is kind of also operating under the assumption of decreasing marginal utility on anything you consume over time. So the moment your marginal utility is below the marginal cost, which corresponds to the monthly price you pay, you just exchange the underlying product. So with Grover, for the same monthly price, for the same access to your capital, you get access to further and more products, because on each asset there's a utility decay over time. And the fundamental truth, I think, that is not captured today in the market that we're bringing forward is that the asset life is not equal to the useful life. We are all different from each other. We're all going to use the same product differently, and now if you multiply this with all the products that are available, you have really heterogeneous preferences. You have people who really want to mix and match, and we offer 1, 3, 6, and 12 months minimum rentals subscriptions, which are kind of getting cheaper the longer you pre-commit, really allowing you to mix and match what is your preferred usage on a particular asset towards the payment and the commitment that you're willing to pay. So unbundling the asset life from the useful life to people is what Grover is doing, allowing people to really mix and match subscriptions, monthly payments, and really making people better off. So here you have a welfare increase, a new utility kind of curve that people are reaching, and everybody's better off. So the best case scenario is if Grover becomes really big, because then more and more people can experience the benefit of renting instead of buying with us. Here's some feedback from our customers. The first one, for example, is my life is changing a lot lately. Maybe soon I won't even need a MacBook anymore, but I will do everything on a tablet. That's why I did not choose financing by Grover. Keeps me optionality. Or the biggest benefit for me is that I can use the latest tech for a low monthly price. And if I do not need it anymore, I just send it back, and it does not end up in the corner. I think the next element of our business model is that actually we're part of the circular economy. We're part of the top 100 circular economy companies in this world, next to Google, Philips, and so forth. And we reduce the waste. We reduce consumer waste, but we also reduce the total landfill waste by extending the life cycle of an individual product. And as we scale, this apparently has also some implications for how products are being produced overall in this entire supply chain, going from linear to more circular. Another point which is relatively important is that technology and tech products is something that people actually care about. I don't know about you, but our customers, myself and our team, we're actually pretty excited about the tech we use. We get the new iPad, it's faster than the old one. Awesome. We get the new iPhone, it's a lot quicker than the old one. Fantastic. We play the PlayStation, great. We don't like it, we choose the Xbox, amazing. Tomorrow it's the VR, cool. So tech gives us pleasure. Tech gives us really benefits. And you see this in our customer survey. What are your top interests? They say, well, number one is tech. And then you have entertainment and music and so forth. And this interest, captured with the flexibility that we're adding, is something that we believe will kind of lead the path to very, very sustainable and fast growth going forward. So until today, we raised 62 million overall. We finance those assets with asset-backed debt. We operate on our website, grover.com. We operate with retailers, both online. You see a Rent with Grover button on the product detail pages at MediaMarkt, Saturn, and so forth. And we do this also offline. I'll talk about this in a second. This is the offline solution. Today, you can go to any MediaMarkt store, any Saturn store, any Gravis store, around 450 stores now across the entire country where Grover is present, where you can walk in the store and not buy a product and just walk out with it and have a subscription with Grover. So you go into a store, you walk out with the product, you didn't buy it, and you're not going to jail. So this is really something, part of the reason why initially this was called Project Shoplift internally, this offline point of sale. You just walk in store, you walk out, and you can send it back anytime to Grover. The beauty is also we don't have a return problem because we circulate assets relatively recurringly. Also, this offline exposure, for us, is pretty amazing. I think we're the only startup with 450 offline stores today without any CapEx spent. That's a Grover point of sale software, and you'll find us now kind of present across 5 different channels. Grover.com direct, Rent with Grover online, Rent with Grover offline. We also have a B2B offering for startups, businesses, SMEs, and so forth, who really want to revamp going from desktop PC to MacBook, Apple, and so forth for their employees. It's also very fast growing. We also launched Grover Go last year. We believe that scooters and mobility is important, but it's going to be a monthly subscription instead of being on demand, or both will exist concurrently. And we'll be expanding across 3 major areas, which is category. I think this is one option for us. Geography, that's another option. And the third one is financial journey. So watch out what you hear here. I think that in every kind of decision that people have with us to rent something, they're making a decision not to buy it and not to finance something. So we're part in that financial journey, in that financial life of our consumers. And now the question is, how can we expand on that decision, on that relationship, which is recurring and ongoing, and really kind of bring all of the best to the table. So that's it. Thank you very much.